First Coast's most accurate forecast from the First Coast News Weather Team, certified by Weather Rate, sponsored by AC Designs.
How's it going? Glad you're with us. It's 4:30. It's a big day. Duval. Thank you, Lee.
Welcome.
It's Lou Turner and Lee Southwick.
Hey.
Your tandem of meteorologists going to Sherpa you through this Monday evening. Doesn't get any bigger than this Monday evening in Duval.
No, right here on ABC 25.2, you can watch the game, but if you want to get out there, we got some suggestions for you when it comes to the weather.
Yeah, so we're going to spend the first half of this stream essentially diving into tonight and, really microcasting and nowcasting and showing you the here and now for Monday Night Football. If you are, about to hit the road, you want to plan what you need to bring, we got you covered. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we'll spend the second half of the stream kind of looking long range and then the tropics as well. So we'll get you covered on anything you need to know. But I like the look over the bank right now. Peaks of blue sky. We've had the cloud cover, and it's actually cloud cover kind of our friend at the moment.
Definitely.
Keeping temperatures down just a touch, a little muggy, but
I'm trying to keep the atmosphere a little bit more stable.
Yeah.
We don't want lightning. Sometimes when you can get more sunshine, it leads to more instability, and that leads to lightning. And that's what we've been watching very closely, too, because we don't want any sort of lightning delays or any lightning before the game when everyone's outside. I mean, the stadium is right next to the studio, and we have seen people already, starting at 4 o'clock, a steady stream of people getting towards the stadium, tailgating, hanging out. So a lot of people out there, but Lou, as you said, not looking too bad, looking a little bit more promising out there.
Breezy, if you are going to set up the tent, just anchor it well. Mm-hmm. Just do a nice job. Let's look the other way, shall we? So we're looking essentially from the top up the bank, basically, and back towards the west. Your time lapse showing that stream of clouds. Really, we have seen lightning this afternoon, but it has all been 40 miles away from downtown and moving away. So we'll take that as an encouraging note there with a little peak of sunshine. So just so you're intimately aware, we do have rain chances. There is a chance, cannot rule out a little bit of drizzle, Lee, maybe a quick downpour, but that chance has really dropped. So looking at current conditions, looking at how things are lining up offshore, we aren't seeing that big wave coming in off the ocean. So we're going to keep it at 20%. I do still want you to just have the poncho. I don't want you caught off guard if something were to start falling in second quarter and you're getting all comfortable and you got a beverage and then boom, a little shower comes in. But I do think the rain chance, as far as somebody asked, is it going to be a full-blown mutter out there? I don't see that. I don't see the wild mud conditions. But goodness, it's like we are dodging a lot of rain bullets that's kind of got the state sort of covered.
The way that radar looks right now, though, what's more promising is this is how the models were showing it to look at this time throughout the weekend and this morning, where there's more of that rain in our western areas, closer to I-75 when you look at the First Coast as a whole, where here closer to home, yes, it's drier along the I-95 corridor. So that is more promising. We saw a setup kind of similar yesterday evening. And while models showed that it was going to be dry, we did get those few little pop-up showers. So you have these tiny little sprinkles that are moving on shore, like one just moved on shore in Fernandina. It's hard to actually get a grasp on those. That's why we have that 20% chance of rain. These very isolated light showers, not a downpour, not a washout of a game, but it's possible that you could get a light shower or two during the game or during the tailgate too. So that is why we say have the poncho, just in case.
Just in case. They're little, it's just a little peppering around the, we've gone in from the wide view to the we're looking at Duval County right now in the general metro, right? Yeah. And just, for your planning purposes, you see the little peppering of little baby showers kind of moving through. And if you had a little, moisture on the windshield as you're driving in, don't be surprised. But we aren't seeing anything in the way of heavy downpours. One just kind of zipped. You see how it zipped over to the St. Johns River there? Mm-hmm. Right, zip. I mean, and they're moving out, right? So we saw those east winds. We're getting in that 15 to 20 mile an hour range, and they're just riding it right on across. So again, essentially east to west, straight up out of the east, loving that. Also not seeing. You look for convergence, you look for sea breeze collision, you look for any sort of outflow of any storms that we've seen, and we're just not seeing that. So that's good. If you had any potential outflows coming from storms to the south, you could get a little more uplift, instability, and that could spark a storm, but not seeing that. So that is good. And those east winds really winning out the day and pushing towards 75, where we've seen a lot more action. And, I mentioned kind of at the beginning here, where are we seeing the showers offshore that are moving west? Well, off coastal Georgia, so maybe Brunswick, St. Simons, Glenn County, you've got a couple showers just offshore there, and those are kind of racing to the west. So there is the potential you get some showers this evening if we're, forecasting. We're going to forecast for everybody. We've got our mindset, as mentioned on like this first half of the stream, on the Jags. But what is encouraging, if you look due east of Duval and the potential, training lineup, I just don't see it right now. So I did want to show this image. So it kind of paints where the lightning is, certainly, on our water vapor. This is a kind of a channel turned on of our satellite imagery that shows moisture or lack thereof in the middle column and upper layers of our atmosphere. And while it is kind of muggy at the surface and we have the humidity, certainly there in the ingredients, we kind of have a cap of dry air right over us. When that would worry me is if we had sea breeze collision and uplift into that dry air, and that can create some towering storms. But right now it's kind of got the cap on the atmosphere, and you can really see it, the brown kind of layer there, and the dark the black layer, that's drier air, and where the moisture is would be the white, what looks like clouds on the satellite imagery, but really that's just moisture in the atmosphere. Now there are those little poppers that you see happening. Those were quick thunderstorms, but like I said, those were southwestern Clay near Keystone, and those have since ended. So I'm not seeing a lot, Lee, of lightning on the map right now.
No, it's all more promising. Everything that we're seeing, also how fast they're moving. So if a shower does move through, it gets out of here pretty quickly. And okay, current temperatures too, comfortable. The cloud cover has kept things more comfortable out there. If you're trying to head out here soon, not too worried about the heat, not too worried about the thunderstorms. We will watch out for those showers, but I think the takeaway here, with everything we've shown you, is that we think you're good to go to the game. Go out there, enjoy it, have fun. Just don't be surprised if there's a light little sprinkle, a quick sprinkle, maybe two. Don't wear white shorts because the seats could be wet. So,
and then everybody will see your Jaguars boxers.
It would be cool.
It would be cool, but everybody will see it.
Yeah, you don't want people to see it.
It's not very modest.
And the hat. Okay, so think about people way up high wearing hats. Do you think the wind's enough to kind of having to hold on to their hats?
Hold on your hat. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have those
Breezy.
15 up top, maybe 20 mile an hour breezes at times. So, yeah. Hold on to the hat, anchor the tents.
Ladies, maybe no dresses or skirts. Again, we're just here with all the fashion advice.
And Lee, what she just did is took what I was about to write an 8-page essay of the forecast for the Jags. And what she just did is gave a thesis statement perfectly, succinctly, and just said, basically what we're telling you is you don't have much to worry about tonight. Perfect.
Except for apparently fashion.
Succinct. Well, we could talk for hours about that.
But
so we showed you the temperatures. I mentioned, drier air in the middle and upper layers, but at the surface, here are your dew points. And we do have some areas that's kind of muggy out there. Mm-hmm. So in downtown and at NAS Jax, so Jacksonville is the airport. Obviously, or maybe that's not obvious. So yeah, our measuring site for when we talk Jacksonville temperatures and dew point and wind, it's out at the airport. Now,
like JIA, that airport.
Correct. Yes. NAS Jax might be a better way to interpolate what's happening downtown, considering its influence of the river and the proximity to downtown relative to the airport. So you might want to look at maybe more at NAS Jax for those conditions. I'll go back a frame 81. I think that's probably closer to what we're getting downtown with a dew point of 72. Muggy, certainly, and any other day where we've got full sunshine, I'd be more concerned about thunderstorms, but we don't. Lee mentioning holding on to your hat, do it. We've got 15, 16 mile an hour winds. You see NAS Jax at 15. Everything is coming directly out of the east right now, all the way out to Lake City. And that is encouraging. If you were to see any of those sites west, say Gainesville, Lake City, Valdosta, with a different wind barb pointing the other way towards the west, and then you have all of our sites closer to Jacksonville pointing to the east, I say, let's just kind of watch for the potential for some pop-ups. We don't have that. So a very direct flow with your gusts even higher. So we've seen 25 to 30 mile an hour gusts, and that could maybe relax a little bit as the sun goes down, Lee, but overall, let's be prepared for the breeze this evening. Kind of as we wrap up the here and now sort of part of our forecast, the nowcast, we do have some coastal alerts to tell you about.
Yeah.
The coastal flood advisory, certainly important to remember with times of high tide, but that coastal flood warning now, that's ticked up a notch.
And, to tie this back into the Jags game, right by Intuition Brewing,
Yep.
It floods with high tide. We've had water there for a while. I know a lot of people park downtown and walk to the game, so please keep that in mind, that you will be dodging water.
Yep.
High tide downtown, I believe it's closer to 10:15.
Yes.
So luckily not like when we won't have the peak of the flooding when people are heading into the game or leaving, but still something to just be mindful
Absolutely.
of. That there could be, you could be getting your shoes wet if you're trying to come from that way. You want to go around.
Comfortable boots,
Rain boots,
waterproofs.
teal and black rain boots.
As we continue our fashion theme for how you need to prepare for tonight. But Lee, kind of reading our mind as far as where we're going next when you're talking tides. So the warning, the coastal flood warning, where it seems a little more imminent. I wanted to say intimate again. That's one of my freaking crutch words, and I got to get over that. Imminent would be south of downtown. So measuring sites at Orange Park,
Yeah.
Fleming Island, south towards Green Cove, I mentioned Orange Park, and then down towards Palatka and Willaca, Satsuma. Those areas have seen some river flooding already, hence the warning. And those times, which we've already seen in Palatka a little earlier this afternoon, 3:14, but of course that would mean early morning tomorrow.
Like 4
Yeah,
a.m.
about 4 a.m. Let's be prepared. And then Fernandina Beach, we'll watch you as well. You're north of that warning. You're more in that coastal flood advisory, but 9 o'clock, so front and center if you're doing maybe a Jags watch party at some of the bars downtown Fernandina. Down towards the marina could have some high water there, those boat ramps.
R.I.P. Brett's.
So your tailgating forecast before we take a quick break, there you go. That's kind of your wrapping it up with the Jags. We do mention that chance of a shower still as we take a live look at the bank. Some darker clouds out there, but we have not seen rain yet with any of those as folks are walking around and getting ready to tailgate. We are going to take a quick break. It is time for our break. Then on the other side, we'll talk some tropics and some other local forecasting. So stay with us. Welcome back. It's Lee and it's Lou, and it's funny that we're together because in text messages, my name autocorrects to Lee. Mm-hmm. It happens all the time. I mean,
because I'm more important.
Truly. Apple confirms it.
Yeah.
At least it's on the iPhone autocorrect. Anybody who writes Lou, it's just Lee.
And I'm always fine with it until the messages are mean or mad, and they're like, "Gosh, dang it, Lou!" I'm like, "No, that was Lou.
That was Lou.
Can't be me. Couldn't be me.
Couldn't possibly be Lee. Innocent Lee." Let's get to the rest of the forecast for the day, and we've extensively gone into Jags. Good to go, but as I advance past the bank. All right, so let's talk the rest of the evening. As Lee had mentioned, modeling doing a good job at the general pattern. Everything's lined up west, which we saw towards Lake City, and more or less clearing out. Now, what modeling will not do a great job with are the tiny little popcorn, isolated showers, which we could see through the evening just quickly could impact the walk back to the car after the Jags just absolutely pummel the Chiefs. I mean, I don't even know why they showed up. Why do you come to Duval to come take your whooping? But
you bring Taylor Swift with you, by all means.
Yeah, okay. I wonder.
I think she's going to be here.
Yeah.
She's got a private jet for a reason.
Big album release, and now she's here.
She's going to be on our NBC station. So if you don't care about football, watch her on NBC.
There you go.
And then she'll fly back.
And then she'll be right back.
And then she'll be on our
ABC
that's
right.
station.
What is she on tonight? She's on
Jimmy Fallon.
Fallon tonight, but they tape that early.
Tape it at 5 p.m.
It's being taped in a few moments, and then she can finish that and fly down.
Get here.
And watch hubby, or soon to be
fiance
do the thing. So we had those rain chances. We're going to look at Tuesday. I think we get another line moving east to west again with those rain chances getting all the way out to Lake City and inland southeast Georgia. Quick movers though, so I'm not overly impressed with any rainfall totals. Maybe not quite the drought buster that we need, but every little bit that we're going to get through the month of October is up and above the average of about 4 inches for the month is going to help with the really dry September that we had. So we got some catching up to do in what is technically the wet season, although we are transitioning more into the dry season. And for Thursday, very similar sort of setup, and even some strong storms possible from maybe Southern Clay, Central St. John's down through Putnam County as we get through the afternoon. So we're going to need to watch the dynamics there. Still with that coastal trough, high pressure weakening to the north, and that little low down spinning towards Miami, still riding the trough up. So that's kind of our pattern. And our tropical update, couple areas that are certainly worth an eyeball, maybe one less so than the other. So over towards the Yucatan Peninsula, a little potential development there as that wave kind of moves over the Yucatan and into the Gulf, but that may be more of a Mexico, Texas rainmaker in the coming several days.
Really, National Hurricane Center only talking about Belize and Mexico for rain out of that system, you know, is probably going to sit in the Bay of Campeche there, and that's when they give it a 10% chance of forming at best. But other than that, so it's probably rain for Mexico and Belize. So if you have travel plans there, that is something to watch. You can see that storm out in the Pacific on the other side of it too.
Yeah.
But for us here, still not too concerned, which is, you know, that looks concerning, Lou. A high chance of formation in the next 2 days out in the Atlantic, but you know, I'm not too concerned yet.
Right.
So going to watch it closely. But what have you been seeing with this?
Likely a Jerry here. If we're talking, I mean, a 70% chance over 48 hours, 80 over the next week. Get into some condition where, development's favorable. And that wave looking pretty good relative to a couple others that we had seen. But the modeling, so this is your American model showing the full disk. But you focus your eyeball on that yellow and orange, kind of right in the center of your screen, moving towards the Lesser Antilles. Kind of that kink in the isobar there would indicate maybe a little depression there as we get towards Thursday.
Yep.
So, or even could be Jerry at that point, where you see the circle close. But at least the GFS indicating that more northern turn. Your spaghetti model is kind of your conglomeration of all the major models run, including a couple of hurricane models. Now, there are outliers with this, and why we're going to need to continue to watch. So the more southern and western kind of runs, we're going to need to have our eyes on. And I think, Lesser Antilles, Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, absolutely needs to monitor this pretty carefully. But for us, the tendency and the trends have been that pretty hard north turn, hitting the exit right at Puerto Rico, and maybe even being east of Bermuda as we get out. But we're still talking 7 to 10 days out, a long time to watch this move through. Another look essentially at what the GFS is showing, just another way to see it, is how much tropical moisture there is. And you see those deep dark reds north of San Juan, Puerto Rico. That is what could potentially be our next tropical development. I do note that by Saturday, there's some dry air trying to punch into the southeast.
Hey.
So that could be a little foreshadowing for temperatures to come.
For temperatures for us, and hopefully push that thing, whatever it is, Jerry or whatever, out of here. So northern Leeward Islands, those islands there, Thursday, Friday, that's when it would impact those areas. And that's, so again, and maybe you're going on a cruise, a vacation there too. It'd be the end of this week, so we'll watch that closely for you. But then hopefully that system does come down, that front gives us some nice temperatures and boots that back out into the Atlantic. So we'll watch that closely.
Yep.
And then, you know, we have a lot of untapped potential energy in the Caribbean, and I am so grateful to not see anything out there right now trying to form in the Caribbean. So you can see here with our areas of development and the normal progression and path that they go, this is a very good thing that we haven't seen anything in the Caribbean yet.
For sure. So but that's where we've got to watch now as we go through October. Right. The African wave train certainly still picking up, but the way the jet kind of oriented itself, the way that we've had fronts, it does kind of act as a bit of a barrier for us for those storms coming due east, coming out of the east towards the west. What it could do is, if anything were to develop in the Caribbean, the Gulf, it gets picked up within that jet, that any trough that were to dig in and kind of ride that right up, which could mean maybe not a direct landfall, but you get those side swipers like a Nicole years past that can bring a lot of water. So looking beyond, this is not a hurricane center kind of blob, so to speak, of area of concern, but this is what your global tropic hazards look like as we get towards the middle and end of October. So we're going more than a week out, obviously, and you're watching Central America, watching the Caribbean, this kind of just backing up the climatology graphic we were just showing you. But these are the areas that we'll need to watch for quick spin-ups, and just like we see right now. In fact, with that little wave about to move over the Yucatan and could bring some of that rain to Mexico. So transitioning back home now as we come out of the tropics, let's talk about our winds. So we stick with that breezy pattern, breezy to just downright windy through Tuesday, Wednesday. They relax a bit Wednesday. Wednesday looks to be kind of our weather pick of the week. Mm-hmm. I think it's the second Wednesday in a row that's been kind of our best day of a work week so far. All right, sliding downhill to the weekend. Then by Friday, look at the forecast winds. Now, this is just one computer model run, but it's hinting at another strong nor'easter in place as we get towards the end of the week.
Make it stop.
Right?
You're the chief. This is your fault.
I can't do anything about it. Send up a balloon or something, but it is steady. And another end of the week where we're talking about winds in that 30-mile-an-hour range, and of course that would mean some moisture pumping in from the Atlantic.
I just wanted one more beach weekend before
I know.
it got cold. I just wanted.
It doesn't, and we haven't really had a good beach weekend.
No.
It's been more than a month. I mean, it's been a while because it seems like each week we're getting either a stalled out front or some coastal trough, high pressure to the north, and that
just
hadn't been our friend.
Gross beach.
But it has, but it also it's been kind of doing us favors tropically.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess put it in perspective. I'll take it.
For sure. So looking at our winds, talking about wave heights and sea conditions out there, we have seen some kind of dangerous and coastal flooding. So with that, we'll continue those coastal flood advisories. Our buoy reports, 6 to 8 foot seas. So small craft advisory is absolutely going to stay in place. Looking at the bigger picture as far as rain chances go, I showed you the future cast already, but I'll show you again kind of just the full motion of the ocean. That's kind of that big area of energy that potentially could bring some stronger storms to really our southern areas. So southern St. John's, Putnam, that would be Thursday. We'll watch carefully. And I just wanted to show this, talking about high temperatures over the